This is Career Coaching X's and O's, and I'm your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, the founder and thought leader at Sierra Consulting, a small business strategy and technology consulting firm. A small part of our practice is executive coaching. These episodes are the summation of some of those sessions. The title of today's episode is The Boss Has a Favorite, and You're Not It. And here are the 5 things you should do next. All of us have been in a situation where we have presumed that our boss is playing favorites, giving the best jobs, the best assignments, the best office space, the view from the window to underperformers who didn't deserve that treatment. Well, if you're one of those employees who found themselves on the outside looking in, this episode is especially for you, because here are the 5 things you should do next if your boss has a favorite and you are not it. First, I want you to understand the psychological profile of your boss. Yeah, that Myers-Briggs stuff. Because your boss's psychological profile may dictate how he or she relates to the people in the group and how they make friends. If you are the life of the party, but your boss is an introvert, you may be inadvertently triggering your boss's fight or flight reactions just by being you in the office. Understanding his or her psychological profile will give you insights on the best way to approach your boss and make connections in a way that you can build meaningful relationships. And that's why they may seem like they have a favorite, because that person that responds best to their profile is making those connections, whereas your life of the party approach to building relationships may be actually repelling the people you want to attract. The second thing you should do is understand the characteristics of the person you consider to be the boss's favorite. If those qualities are worth emulating, then you should emulate them. As I mentioned in the first point, your boss may have a psychological predisposition to like certain types of profiles. Introvert, extrovert, sensing, feeling, perceiving. All of those are characteristics that are found in the Myers-Briggs catalog of psychological profiles. And if the boss's favorite has developed tangible qualities that you can emulate to build and make those connections, why not do so? What's the third thing you should do? Make your goals known to your boss. When you have those performance reviews, be explicit about the things that you want to accomplish and align those goals with the goals of your group and with those personal projects that are most important to the boss. Those are going to give you opportunities to spend more time directly with your boss, giving you opportunity to implement some of those new characteristics that you have developed based on learning more about his or her psychological profile. What's the fourth thing you should do? You should build relationships with people who influence your boss. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you got to go out and build a relationship with your boss's boss. As I've told you in prior episodes, you should have several mentor relationships. And one of those mentor relationships could be a peer to your boss or someone within the organization that your boss goes to for advice or feedback when he or she has to make a critical decision. Developing a mentor-mentee relationship with that individual can pay huge dividends, because that individual can not only give you insight into how your boss thinks, but they can drop those nuggets, those gems to your boss about how well you're performing. Leverage those mentor relationships, and when you do have multiple mentor relationships, make sure you spend time getting those mentors to know each other so they can triangulate and give you the best feedback on how to continue to move your career forward. Finally, what do you want to do if your boss has a favorite and you're not it? You should develop a career specialty that's important to the workflow of your group or department. You want to be that bottleneck. And if you do that and you're the go-to person in your department, it's going to force people to have a relationship with you. Now, I'm not saying that you become the bottleneck and make everyone suffer. You want to become the bottleneck and become the top performer. And then everyone will know it. And that'll give you a chance to establish relationships with people in your group from a position of power. When you're doing the most critical work in the department and you're the biggest team player, it's not going to be long before everyone in the group knows your name and wants to have a relationship with you. Don't be the jerk that holds everyone hostage. I've seen people who've done that, and they've become the focus of everyone's attention because they're looking for the first opportunity to get you out of the group. So if your boss has a favorite and you're not it, I hope these 5 action steps will make you more important. It may not make you the boss's favorite, but it will get you on the track to getting noticed by your boss and making you more relevant in your group or department. And that's what this is all about. Putting you on the right track to those corner offices. I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, hit subscribe. I know you will share the episode with your colleagues because the best people listen to this podcast. Tell us the issues you're struggling with in your career, and we will research them, and we might even do a podcast episode about it. If you need more support in your career, please find us on the web at signiero.com, CEYERO.com, and let us help you develop a plan for your career. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Signiero Consulting. This has been Career Coaching X's and O's, and I am your host, Mark Anthony Peterson, founder and thought leader at Signiero Consulting.